You know, folks, a couple of months ago, depending on how you like to look at it or view it, I talked about, I asked the question of if April O'Neil in the new series was going to mutate slash transform, even possibly just once, as she had done numerous times in the original 1980s, mid 90s series, as well as once in the final season of the 2003 series, Back to the Sewers. And even, believe it or not, in a 48-page special of when the Ninja Turtles were part of Archie Comics, and even at the beginning of a dream sequence in the IDW April micro series. You know, I asked that question, and I still believe that sometime during this series run, whether it's the rest of this second season, it's the third season, sooner or later, the creators are going to have to go in that direction. They're going to have to temporarily mutate or transform April into some other kind of creature or being, if just for one episode. But after this past weekend, even though I didn't see the episode, and I'm sure there were some people that didn't see the episode except for maybe on demand, or if they had DVR'd the series or scheduled the series to be DVR'd for all the new episodes, we finally got to meet this version, the 2013-14 version of Irma. That's right, Irma has made her debut in the new TMNT series by Nickelodeon. And everybody knew she was coming in. I mean, pretty much in the first season, April gets a text or something like that with Irma's name on it. We don't see her facially in one of the first episodes of season 2, but we do hear her voice. Well, at least I think we do. I'm not totally sure because I haven't watched the series. It's just and that's my own personal preference. But finally, we do get to see her in this series. And one of the things a lot of fans always were questioning, especially at the Technodrome forums, and I'm pretty sure at several other sites, is will Irma mutate into Mona Lisa? Yeah, I'm not lying, folks. People have actually asked that question. They've asked that question at various sites, various Ninja Turtle fan sites, forums, you name it. They have asked the question that if Irma comes in, will she be mutated into Mona Lisa? Because Mona Lisa apparently is the one other character fans would love to see in the show. Because here's the thing, she's one of those characters, like let's say Foxglove from the episode Good Times, Bad Times of Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. She's one of those characters that even though she appears once, she makes a huge impact. She ends up making a huge impact on the fan base, and she develops her own fan base. I mean, Foxglove developed such a huge fan base that you had fans dedicating a website to her, and you had fans dedicating multiple huge novel-like web stories, fan fiction stories to her. Like let's say Home is Where You Hang Upside Down, Death of a Comedian. I mean, come on. And then you have Boom Studios reviving the Rescue Rangers in comic book form, and you have Foxglove playing a big role there. And all because of her one appearance in Good Times, Bad Times that caused her to have a fan base of her own. And that's exactly what Mona Lisa did. Mona Lisa's one appearance caused her to get a huge fan base. It did. It did cause her to get a huge fan base. She even got a freaking action figure out of it. And if that's not reason enough to know fans want to see her that badly in the new series, I don't know what does. In fact, her name was one of the first names that came out as potential characters that would be revived or brought back in some way in the new series. And as the series progressed and fans kept talking about it, and all of a sudden you hear Irma is going to show up, and you know she's going to show up, people started wondering, what if Irma got mutated into Mona Lisa? People did ask that question. I'm not lying. I'm not lying, folks. You go around, people will tell you that. They will tell you that. I mean, and it potentially could happen. With this new version of the Turtles, depending on how you like it, how you view it, and there's a lot of longtime fans that actually getting a kick out of it. Some longtime fans that, like myself, have still a mixed reaction towards it. And there are a lot of longtime fans that just don't like it. And of course you got this new generation of fans that like it. But the one thing a lot of us longtime fans have noticed, whether we like it, have a mixed reaction towards it, or we don't like it, one of the things we have noticed is that they like to switch things around. They like to take chances and do things to characters that you wouldn't see coming. Now, true, they will pay homage. They will pay homage to a lot of the past Turtle franchises, or a lot of the past events in the Turtle franchises. Like this past Sunday, they paid homage in some way to the first Ninja Turtles live-action movie. They paid homage to that in some ways with Casey and Raphael. But the point is, folks, the one thing about this series that a lot of us longtime fans have noticed is they like to take chances. They like to really spice things up, if you will. They want to go in directions, like I mentioned, you don't see coming. And, as soon as Irma showed up, pretty much fans knew she was going to show up, and now that she has, a lot of fans are suspecting that she could be mutated into Mona Lisa. That's a potentiality. Not saying it's going to happen, but that's a potentiality, the way the direction of the show goes at times, the way the creators like to go with the show. The fans look at that as a potentiality of happening. And why would it happen, you may ask? Well, some fans have theorized that it could, kind of slowly dissolve, if you will, the whole Donatello April deal, and give Donnie someone that's also a mutant, but someone that's also kind of genius like him to really get along with, and not have to worry about, people questioning their relationship like people would question April's with question his with April, and vice versa. It would slowly dissolve that away, and if you're a longtime fan, open the door for Casey April to happen, potentially. Now, it could also open the door for maybe Michelangelo to have a girlfriend. Who knows? Potentially it could. Not saying it will. But the point is, folks, this is something that a lot of fans have speculated on, are going to continuously speculate on, and whether it's the rest of this season or it's into the next season, fans are still going to speculate and wonder if maybe, because not saying it's going to happen, but they're going to speculate and wonder that if maybe Irma gets mutated into Mona Lisa. Because like I said, Mona Lisa is the one character whose name was brought up as soon as this series started developing, as soon as this series was announced, of potential characters that could be making a return and making an appearance in the show. Because here's the one thing about this. When the creators and the developers say that, hey, there's a potential for a lot of old school characters to show up, A lot of old school characters from the classic cartoon of the 80s and 90s. A lot of old school characters from the Archie Comics version, from the Mirage Studios version. You know, as soon as they say, you know, you could see a potential return, if not revival, of all these characters, Mona Lisa's name was one of the first that got popped up. Because again, it's basically the same thing as with Foxglove Bat and Rescue Rangers episode Good Times, Bad Times. One episode, but left a huge impact. A big enough impact that she got her own website. The same could be said with Mona Lisa. Sure, she didn't get a website, but she's still big time, you know, fans still look at her as, you know, she's still got a huge fan base, basically, man. She's still got a huge fan base. So again, the question is, will Irma be mutated into Mona Lisa? Well, basically, as it's going to say there in the title box, Irma to be mutated into Mona Lisa? Will it happen? Could it happen? With this show, you never know. Because like I said, when the creators and developers of the show said you were going to see a lot of these old school characters from the past probably come back and be revived and return in some way, shape, or form in the new series. Here's the one thing that I was going to try to say earlier, but I forgot to say because I got so caught up in the other thing I was saying. Even though they said you could see the potential return of a lot of these old school characters, they never come out and tell you how it's going to happen, how they're going to come back, how they're going to return, how they're going to make their debut in the new series. They never tell you how they're going to do it. They never do. And I would not be surprised if Mona Lisa shows up as a mutated friend of April and Casey's. And I'm not saying it's going to be Irma. It could be someone completely new that they decide, hey, let's turn her into Mona Lisa. But recent history has shown with this series, expect the unexpected because you never know what will happen next. So let me know what you guys think out there. Do you think the new Irma, the new Irma here in the Nickelodeon TMNT series will become Mona Lisa? Do you see it happening? Or do you see them bringing in someone new to be mutated into Mona Lisa? Do you see them bringing in someone new as a friend of April, Casey's, and Irma to become Mona Lisa? Do you see that happening? Or do you see Irma being the potential candidate? Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like, and I will talk to you all later.